unemployment, the state of Ohio will not be giving individuals the $600 now, even those who qualify and are receiving checks every week. They are going to wait until that new portal is up, and then they will start giving you those $600 additional per week when that second system is in place. Please know that everybody who qualifies for unemployment will get all of their money backdated into the first day that they qualified for unemployment. So don't worry about receiving it. You will get those dollars as soon as Ohio gets its system up. Now, I know, and I've heard from many people, that the state of New York, the state of Kentucky have all started processing those claims. I don't know what system they're using. The one thing I do know is that Ohio is not ready yet, but we are working on it. So thank you very much. Again, if you guys ever need to call me, you can reach me at 614-466-4857 or at williams@ohiosenate.gov. Now I am going to turn this over to State Representative Janine Boyd. And before that, I just want to let you all know that if anybody has any questions for any of us, we will be available after this call or during this call, once all of us make our comments, to take your questions that we didn't answer today. So Representative Janine Boyd, please go ahead.
Hey everyone, happy spring season, happy holy season. Hope everyone is staying at home as much as possible and taking care of each other. Please stay well. I'm going to speak to you about voting. You know, there was a lot going on around our primary elections in the midst of a public health emergency. So just to make sure everyone's on the same page, as you recall, in-person voting was canceled for March 17th, our original primary election day, in response to COVID-19 and the commitment of our state to prevent community spread. So what you need to know now is that if you voted in person at a Board of Elections or mailed in your absentee ballot previously, your vote will be counted. That is the commitment that the Secretary of State's office has made to all of us. So if you've already voted, you're good. You don't need to do anything else. But for everyone else, what that means is absentee voting, voting by mail has been extended through April 28th. How do you vote by mail in this new era? Right now, you need to either call your Board of Elections for Cuyahoga County. That phone number is area code 216-443-8683. You call them and you request your absentee application to be mailed to you. You complete it, or you can complete it online. You can go online at voteohio.gov. That's voteohio.gov, and complete your vote by mail form. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is April 25th. How do you return your absentee ballot? You mail back your ballot to your local Board of Elections. You will have, there'll be a prepaid postage for that. So if you request your ballot by mail, you have to pay for that. But if you send your ballot, when you send your ballot in, that postage is paid for. Everything has to be postmarked by April 27th. So you have to mail back your absentee ballot by April 27th. Or you can drop it off by 7:30 p.m. on April 28th. There is no in-person voting unless you're a member of the ADA community, or if you are happen to be experiencing homelessness. You can vote in person under those circumstances if you are living with a disability or you are experiencing homelessness. So again, the vote by mail request deadline is noon Saturday, April 25th. All votes already cast in person by mail now are counted, or in person, they will be counted. And only those registered to vote by February 18th are eligible to vote in this primary election. That never changed. If you have any other questions, we have wonderful partners in Cuyahoga County who do a lot of work around voter education. So you can visit www.443vote.us. Cleveland Votes is a wonderful partner, local partner. You can email them at info@clevotes.com. That's what I have for us today on the primary election. And again, everyone, please stay well.
Next, we have Representative Terrence Upchurch, who will talk about small businesses.
Thank you, Representative. Good afternoon, everyone. I also want to wish you all a happy holy season. I hope everyone is safe and everyone is doing well. We are certainly living in some unprecedented times, without a doubt. Small businesses are definitely taking a hit. So the federal government, the state government, and your local government have taken some steps to provide temporary relief throughout this period. I'm just going to go over some of the temporary assistance programs that are available for small businesses. First, the city of Cleveland is actually offering a loan up to $10,000 for operating costs. There's no fees, there's no interest. And the name of this loan is this loan actually comes from the Emergency Working Capital Fund. My office has information about the loan and the qualifications for it. So that's what's available through the city of Cleveland. Also, the federal government has provided the Paycheck Protection Forgiveness Loan. The maximum loan amount is $10 million. All businesses are eligible. And pretty much what this loan does, make a long story short, it protects paychecks. So if you're experiencing your hours being cut, it will protect your paycheck to kind of offset some of those expenses. And again, all businesses qualify. My office has information how to apply for the loan, what the qualifications are, and the process to get that loan. Last but not least, the governor's office created the Office of Small Business Relief, and this is just temporary relief throughout the duration of this crisis. The number to that office is 614-466-2711. My office also has information on that loan, how you qualify, and what those steps are. So I'm happy to answer any questions. These are pretty detailed loans, and I'm happy to turn it over to my colleague, Stephanie Howse, Representative Howse.
Thanks, Representative Upchurch. So I'm here just to share some information as it relates to education. Approximately 2 weeks ago, the Ohio General Assembly, we convened and we made some changes because we know a lot of people are concerned about all of our babies. What is going to happen? Will graduation happen? Will our children be promoted? And in House Bill 197, as it relates to education, we basically have put in some relief for our students. So for your children, if they were on the pathway of passing and being promoted, in the third quarter, that will be extended to the following school year. I'll put a little pause in there. They still should be engaging in, they should be still engaging in educational learning. There are a lot of wonderful resources out here. Make sure that you log on and check in with your local school district on their website. There's also opportunities for young people, for those that still need nutritional meals, to have the pickups at their local school district. But in the bill in particular, it was made sure that any of the state testing that is required, it will be waived for this school year. So the stress that many of our children face, they can kind of relax a bit. In addition, I know school vouchers has been a very hot topic here in the state of Ohio. With our school vouchers, we have put a freeze on the school vouchers. So for the amount of vouchers that were released this current school year in 2019-20 will continue in school year 20 and 21. So for those that are having the conversation about the expansion, it is currently being frozen. And those who had vouchers and received vouchers this school year will receive the school voucher for next year, as we go back into session and work out how the program will change in the upcoming, the years past next year. The final other thing, a couple of things that I do want to mention for our young people that may be getting special education services. You need to make sure that you are contacting their special education teachers. We are now utilizing telehealth, telemedicine to ensure that the young people get the services that they need so that they can continue their educational engagement opportunities during this time, as well as for our students that are enrolled in College Credit Plus. With College Credit Plus, there are still the accommodations being made for if your scholar is taking the college courses, you still will be able to do it. So make sure that they are still engaging. And as we continue to move on, make sure there are, like I said, there are a lot of opportunities for young people to be engaged. I know some people don't have access to the internet. For those who do have access to the internet, really make sure you take the time. Museums are offering online programs. We have our variant, like the Cleveland Playhouse, they're doing drama classes and empowerment groups. There's another website, Amazing Educational Resources, that literally has hundreds of resources from across the country where young people and families can build a schedule and tailor an educational experience that is rewarding, and you can still make sure that our young people are getting what they need. So I am going to pause for the moment and now pass it over to Representative Juanita Brent, who will then begin to talk about our prison system and some other things. Representative Brent.
Hi, everyone. So much for Senator Williams for hosting this and allowing me to be a part of it. One issue that has been very present in this situation with the pandemic are people who are currently stationed in other countries who might have left on vacation or might have just been over there because they were living over there temporarily. It's so important that as people are trying to get back in the country, we know our borders are currently closed and people are wondering, there's no one at these embassies. How do people get back in the country? So if you run into a family member or a loved one and you see the different cries of help on the internet, people need like a little bit of information so we can set it up. All of this is being, for the most part, done through our federal government, but people are going to need some basic information to be able to get back into the country. They're going to need like their name, their gender, their citizenship status, their current location, and they're going to need to have a valid email, as well as a phone number, the closest airport, their final destination, and if they have any medical conditions. And most importantly, they're going to need a passport. And that may or may not be a problem, an issue for some people, because for the most part, most people who go visit other countries do have a passport. But in that case that you don't, that would be a whole different situation if people do not have access to their own passport. And so if your embassy is closed, we'll have to be some type of special working with the person to get that resolved too here within the United States. We have, believe it or not, we have tons of people who are still left in other countries who are trying to figure out how we can get them back home. And our goal is to get them back home. If that is your situation, please contact my office at rep12@ohiohouse.gov, and we'll get you through the necessary steps to get you home as quickly as possible. Also, another pending topic is regarding our prison systems. There's been a lot of talk from our governor about releasing people from prisons. That is only regarding the state prisons. If you have a loved one that is in county jail, or if they're in a federal prison, that would not be in regards to them. Also, this is a situation where it's not going to be just a free-for-all where we're just letting everyone out. I know there are people who have concerns of who's going to be let out, how soon this is going to be happening. And it's really going to be a sense of a rollout. So the first rollout of people were pregnant women and people who were over 60 who had less than 60 days left of their sentence. And they were low-level offenders who were all nonviolent. So we're not talking about releasing any people who have committed murder or any type of sex offenders. These are people who have low-level crimes, and people that us as a state can also set up like housing or other things. So now there's going to be some more different rollouts of people who are going to be coming out and looking at the different parameters of that. We have a board, it's 8 of them total, who are looking at names of people that they can be able to release at this current moment. There will be consideration for people who have current conditions. There will be consideration for people who have very little time, but you know, we're still just trying to see what the parameters are going to be for that. So I know there's been a lot of different groups who are trying to work to get certain particular people out. I say keep pressing on if you do have a loved one, but it's not a guarantee that everyone who's making a request for their loved ones will be released out of the prisons. But there will be a slow rollout to get more people out to their homes.
Thank you, Juanita, or State Representative Brent, and to each and every one of you for participating today. Now, we'd be happy to take any questions you guys may have. Kayla, do we have any questions that have come through yet?
Yes, we
Or
have
Caitlin?
a question from Brenda. She is a self-employed hairstylist and she's confused on what loan she should apply for. The members who have information on that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Rep. Upchurch.
Thank you for the question, and I'm happy to take that question. So if you're a self-employed hairdresser, you actually are able to utilize the unemployment expansion benefits that we were able to get passed through the House when we voted. There is coverage for freelance workers, contract workers. So I'm happy to get you that information from my office, how you can go through that process. If you give me an email at rep10@ohiohouse.gov, or you can give my office a call, we would be happy to get you that information. Thank you.
And I would just add also, Representative Upchurch gave some great information from the city of Cleveland. I do not believe the city of Cleveland is looking at credit scores, not that your credit score is bad or anything, but the city of Cleveland knows all the challenges that their residents and their employers face. So I would take advantage of that paperwork that Representative Upchurch just gave. It's only $1 million. It might not go very far, but Representative Upchurch gave the best information when it came to that emergency loan from Cleveland.
Okay, we have another question. This is for Representative Upchurch. Ms. Jasmine Long asks, will nonprofit organizations be able to take advantage of loans from the governor's office?
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And Jasmine, if you give my office a call or you give me a call on my cell phone, I'm happy to get you that information. Jasmine's a good friend of mine. Thanks for the question.
We have a third question from Rich. He asked, what about people who were unemployed prior to the pandemic? They can go back to work safely. Can they also get assistance?
I'm sorry, Kayla, would you repeat that, please?
Rich asked, for people who are unemployed prior to the pandemic, who are not safely able to go back to work, can they still apply for assistance?
Yes, the answer is yes. There was an expansion through the federal government that the state adopted that would allow people who are unemployed, who can't go back to work, to receive unemployment benefits. And I should also add that the state of Ohio is expanding the number of weeks that people qualify for unemployment. It is traditionally 26 weeks, but it has been extended 13 weeks. So he should go ahead and apply for unemployment if he is off of unemployment. If he is currently on unemployment, then he should get that extension according to the information that my office received from the Department of Job and Family Services. If he has any problems, please give me a call at 614-466-4857 or send me an email at williams@ohiosenate.gov.
The next question is for Representative Howse. Ms. Stacy Benson asked you, Representative Howse, we know the state mandated testing has been canceled for this year, but what will that mean for 9th, 10th, and 11th graders who need those credits to ultimately graduate? Will they have to have those tests in the future, long after removing from that, or will those credits be mandated for their graduation? Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to repeat the question because it probably came through a little filtered. So basically the question, I believe it was from Ms. Stacy, was asking, having an understanding that tests have been waived for this year, but how does that actually impact our future upcoming classes, like scholars that are in the 9th grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade? Will it impact their credit? So as of now, it will not impact them from being on the path to graduate. We know we have our school board of education and others who will have to go back to make changes to what will be the requirements for future classes. Like when we're looking at our upcoming juniors who will be seniors, looking at the credits, but it will not impact them, and we will not, put them in a position where they won't be able to have what they need to not graduate. So one thing to let you know, the legislation that we did 2 weeks ago, it's just a start. It's the initial package as it relates to education and other things related to the coronavirus. We know we as legislators will have to get back to work and make adjustments like what you brought up, but that is not the intention for our young people in lower grades to be held back any further due to the coronavirus.
Thank you, Representative Howse. Representative Brent, there was a question for you. Can people that have a 1099 apply now for unemployment by Ms. Powell?
Well, I'm gonna definitely defer this question to Senator Williams regarding the 1099s.
Thank you, Representative Brent. If you are a 1099 employee, you cannot apply for unemployment as of yet because the portal, the system is not up and running yet in Ohio. So according to the Department of Job and Family Services, they should have their system up and running by mid-May. So don't apply under the old system because you're going to be denied because you're not, you don't meet those qualifications. I have had many people who have applied as 1099 workers who have been kicked out and sent a denial email. Don't apply through the regular system. Wait until the new portal is up and running, which should be sometime by mid-May, and then you will be able to apply and then receive your unemployment. I do know it's a long time. I'm not sure what's taking our system so long. They're building it from scratch, but just wait until that system is up and running. Thank you.
We have a question for Representative Boyd from BB. How are people to go about completing the census during the pandemic, and has anything changed?
Thank you, Bibi. Thank you for that question. Yes, census is as important as voting. Please complete your census. You can, if you know where you received your, if you know where you put your mail, the census envelope that you received a few weeks back, you can complete that census document and return it in the prepaid envelope, or you can go online at respond.census.gov/ACS. So again, the website is respond.census.gov/ACS, and you can complete your census there. Or if access to the internet is not available to you, you can respond by phone. In Español, you can call 844-468-2020. So 844-468-2020. Or in English, you can call 844-330-2020. So for English speaking, to complete your census, you can call 844-330-2020. Thanks again for the question.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Representative Brent. For those people that are on the line, we know that you will not be able to, on the phone, ask a question, but if you have texting capabilities, you can also text your question to 330-212-0585. Again, that's 330-212-0585. And third time's a charm. Text your question for those members who are listening on the phone to 330-212-0585. Thanks.
Caitlin, do we have any other questions now?
I don't have any more questions.
Okay. Representative Howse or Brent, did any questions come up on that text message?
We are checking now.
So
we
in the
wanted to make sure
meantime,
that, yeah, we wanted to
in the
just make
mean-
sure that people had the number.
Okay, so in the meantime, what we're gonna do is let you know that we will be coming back to you soon. We don't want to overwhelm you with our Zoom calls or our Facebook Live, but we want to make sure that you have all the necessary information to make informed decisions as we move forward. Every day, we try to watch the press conference with our Lieutenant Governor, our Governor, and Amy Acton, Dr. Acton, to get the latest information about what's happening in Ohio. Again, from what I've heard from physicians, we may be in this situation for some time into June. Some people have said May, but regardless of where or how we get out of this situation, the best thing we can do is to make sure we continue to practice social or physical distancing. We watch the press conference every day. That's where we get a lot of information. And then we follow up with you all with your questions into our office. So with that, next week, we will be coming back to you, some of us, with Dr. Charles Motlin from the Cleveland Clinic. And he'll be talking about how the virus is impacting people in Cleveland, the city of Cleveland, as well as in minority communities. So with that, Representative Brent or Howse, did we get any other questions so far?
No, I haven't seen any more. Caitlin or Kayla, have you guys seen any more questions?
Yes. Question from Cindy. How long is it for SBA loans for people?
We can't really hear you on that one.
Yeah, put your phone on mute. I think I heard the question though. The question was, how long should, there was a question that asked, and this is, I guess, Representative Upchurch, how long should people expect for the process for the small business loans to actually be processed?
Thanks for the question. Well, I would say the sooner you apply, the sooner that the government can get working on processing your application. There really isn't a set timetable. They're probably getting overloaded with applications as of right now, to my understanding. So I would advise the sooner you apply, the better. I also have information to check up on the status of your application, and I'm happy to get that over if you contact my office.
Thank you for that, Representative Upchurch.
Okay, we'll take a final question if there is one, Kayla or Caitlin.
I have no more questions.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you guys again for joining us today. We hope this information was helpful. I'd like to again thank my colleagues, Representative Upchurch, Representative Terrence Upchurch, Representative Juanita Brent, Representative Janine Boyd, and Representative Stephanie Howse. Thank you again and have a great day. God bless.